Hello my beautiful friends and welcome to Tailor Made Beauty by Kris. Today's video I am doing a full 3-day, tons of different conditions wear test of the Mer Soft Fluid Long Wear SPF 20 foundation. This foundation is very bougie. $135. You can get it at Nordstrom. You can get it at Sephora. We know Sephora's got their sale coming up. Nordstrom through the end of October is doing up to 6 times the points. So that's where I picked this up. I went down to my local Nordy's because I got, over 700 points for buying this. It's not sponsored. I certainly bought it with my own money. Before we get into this, I should say I am 53 years old. I have fine lines and wrinkles. My pores aren't terrible. My texture's actually pretty good. My skin runs normal to dehydrated. For this video, forgot what side they were on for this video. I'm fighting a couple of acne, a little bit of acne here on my cheeks, so you're gonna see how that covers. I will say YouTubers I have watched love this foundation. They gush about how good it makes their skin look. And I will say, you know what, putting it on this morning, I was looking in the mirror going, yeah, my skin looks really good with this foundation on. But it's not perfection. You'll watch and you'll see my experiences over 3 days with this. Before we get to the review, I should just say it comes in 27 shades. I think I said Sephora or Nordstrom, $135 for what, I can't even remember how much product you get. For 1 ounce of product. Beautiful frosted glass, heavy bottle, a pump. That's nice. I am wearing shade 140 Alabaster, and for comparison, I feel like everybody knows what shade they are in Estee Lauder Double Wear. I am Dawn and Rattan, depending on whether it's summer or winter. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Day 1. There's the packaging. And it's interesting because I was reading through the directions on the back and it reads, it's sunscreen. It reads like sunscreen. Like it says, for sunscreen use. Apply liberally 15 minutes before sun exposure. Reapply at least every 2 hours. At 7.5% oxynate and 1.9% titanium dioxide, we are never going to apply enough to give us sun protection. So I'm not quite sure why they insist on treating it like such. And as you would expect at this price point, it's beautiful packaging. This frosted glass bottle, nice and heavy. No primer today. I have let my sunscreen dry for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to do half with fingers and half with brush. And my brush today is the IT Cosmetics for Ulta, the Airbrush 101. If you've been watching me since the beginning, you know I'm not a huge fan typically of, oh, maybe I gotta shake this. Let's be safe and shake it. It doesn't really tell us any directions, except here's this pamphlet on the inside. It does say to shake it first, so we'll do that. The directions recommend using a brush. Ooh, look how runny that is. Holy cow. Okay, that's 1 pump. I'm going to go in with my less challenging side with just my fingers. And maybe I did not get that shaken enough. I mean, you saw me. I feel like I shook the heck out of it. Let's try it again. Let's see if that did anything. All right, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to go, but it is really super runny. I was not expecting that. So this half of my face I'm doing with my fingers. It feels like skincare. It feels like a serum. In fact, can you really see much of a difference? I'm not. I'm going to give it another pump. Although, look at what's left on my hand. Let me try to pick up some more of that. That's feeling a bit better. Now, I've heard that this oxidizes quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is let this dry down, wait to do this side. I'll come back, I'll show you this side so we can compare, and then I will do the brush on this side. Well, it is truly well and dry now. It was not my intent, but it's been a half hour. I went and had breakfast. And it looks like I'm getting some pretty good medium coverage out of this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a little less than medium. I'm just noticing, the redness seems to be fairly well taken care of. And it really has a beautiful finish. And we'll try this half with the brush this time. So, yeah, there we go. I think that's more like how it is supposed to be. I am getting some brush marks, which, is not great. That's not the look that any of us are going for. So, so far I am preferring to apply this with my fingers than a brush. Having said that, I just took a close look at the side I did with my fingers. I'm going to zoom you in. But since I haven't set anything with powder or not, I'm going to see if I can blend it out with my brush. It blended out nicely with the brush. So I am going to let this dry down for a few minutes. I'm going to finish up my makeup. I'll come back and show you what it looks like with a full face of makeup. One note, while I was eating breakfast, I could tell a difference in the two sides of my face. The side that I had put this foundation on felt a little tighter, not uncomfortably tight. I could just feel a slight tightness in this area, which I'm like, gee, I don't think I've ever put like half a face of foundation on before and then let it dry. So I don't know if that's typical for foundations or not. It was just something interesting to note. And here it is with a full face of makeup. Couple of thoughts. One, this foundation does not work and play well with the Armani Power Fabric Concealer. I am getting, it just didn't work well. It looks, when I look close up, it looks terrible under the eyes. I'll let you look at that. Two, there was a slight sunscreen scent when I applied it, but when it dried, it went away. So that really isn't an issue unless that is something that bothers you terribly. And the third thing, so what turned me on to this foundation originally was watching Marnie, Ms. Gold Girl. She was talking about splurges that are totally worth it. And one thing that she said about this foundation is that it wears better the longer it's on. I'm going to be really curious to see whether that is the case or not. Having said that, I took my Instagram photo for today, where I usually do. If you don't follow me on Insta, you should. Tailor Made Beauty by Kris over there too. And I gotta say, I really like how this foundation is looking. So I'm curious to come back in about 8 hours to see what it's doing. But okay. It has been 9 hours that this foundation has been on. I did have to wear a mask for about an hour today, and I will say that my go-to position when I am working on the computer, doing anything on the computer, is like this. So I am not surprised that it's really worn off my chin. Having said that, and before I talk about the rest of it, I will say at a normal distance, like when most people, even my family, would see me, it is still looking really good, especially after 9 hours. And remember, there was no primer today. When I look really close up in the 10x mirror, it has settled into this, and I think I might have 1 or 2 foundations that don't settle into this wrinkle. And honestly, I usually tap that out at some point during the day, and then it's not an issue. And it's breaking up under my nose. Okay. I will say that at 4 hours, I went and looked at the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks really good. So tomorrow, when I use a primer, I will try to remember to shoot what it looks like at 4 hours. But yeah, I'm impressed. I will say when this finally, kind of set up and has worn, it is really good medium, maybe even medium plus coverage. Here we are on the second day of testing, and just a couple of items to address before I apply for today. 1, oh my gosh, okay, so not happy to be washing my face last night and find not 1, not 2, 4 zits. What the forkle? 2 little teeny tiny ones and 2 bigger ones. So I know teeny tiny ones are usually just my skin going, oh, I didn't like that. The only thing I changed was the $135 foundation. Deeper ones, can I attribute to that? I want to point my finger at it because I haven't changed anything else in my skincare routine, but we know acne can pop up for all kinds of reasons. But I can tell I'm going to blame the 2 little ones on that. So that's the first thing. Second, I really wanted to know how much this oxidizes because I didn't really see a ton yesterday. Now, I know I am super well lit here, and that sometimes will wash out any differences like that. So, half hour ago, I put some on my hand, and now that I have shaken this thoroughly, we're going to put a little fresh next to it and compare. Yes. So, a little oxidation. Not bad. I've had foundations that oxidize worse. I'm thinking about a Bare Minerals foundation. But yes, so if you want to go try this and you want to get a $135 foundation for yourself, be aware, let it dry before you make your final shade choice. Having said that, let's do this. Today we are going to use a primer, and because this has silicone in it, we are using a primer with silicone. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. And I have been using this all summer long and into the fall, so I know what to expect from it. It works and plays well with my skincare. And while it does have silicone, it doesn't have a bunch of silicone. It is slightly moisturizing, and I think it does a nice job of blurring texture and pores. In my experience, it does not keep the crease from forming here, but that is what it is. Now that we've given that time to set and dry, let's go ahead, and I just know I'm going in with 2 pumps, and today we are going to use the BK Beauty foundation brush. I was not overly impressed with the brush application yesterday, so we'll try a different brush. And let's go for a little more coverage over that acne. And on this side, damp beauty blender. Well, I'm going to say those application methods are a wash. Unlike yesterday, I've got no brush strokes today from the BK foundation brush, and of course no brush strokes with the beauty blender, although yes, we know that a beauty blender is going to suck up some product. So I am going to go ahead and put a little bit more on my nose and my chin because I've got errands to run today. I will be masking up. Let's see if we can't do a little extra building so it doesn't completely wear off. Here is some footage in indoor lighting. Welcome to my laundry room. We are having such an incredibly sunny day today that this is where I had to go for indoor lighting. But I think it looks really good. Again, I've got LED bulbs, so sometimes that helps, but it's a good looking foundation. And here is what it looks like in beautiful sunny weather. And yes, we are having an incredibly sunny day here in Seattle. So I'm going to take my hand down. Ooh, that is bright. You swing it around so I can see. Yep, looks great out here as well. Here's what it looks like under flash photography. And I gotta say, wow, I don't know if it's the camera or if it is the foundation, but I feel like this took a good 15 years off this 53-year-old face. So that is a big thumbs up. It has been 8 hours since I applied this foundation. Not a lot of us will spend $135 for a foundation. I get that. And I'm going to say in this case, it's for a good reason. I was just upstairs looking in my 10x mirror and not only, you know, the usual suspect, but it's here. I've got dry patch here. I'm not even feeling like this is looking that good at a normal person distance. Like yesterday without the primer, I feel like it performed way better than it did today with the primer. So here we are, day 3, and I'm already done. I felt bad about yesterday because I changed 2 variables. I added the primer and I changed my setting powder. So to make up for that, today I'm using the Mcgrath primer again, and I am using the Fresh Bakery, the Bakery Beauty setting powder. And that way we're going to get kind of an apples to apples comparison. So I'll see you in 8 hours. Let me give you my final thoughts on this very expensive foundation. Under the bright lights here, I can see where it maybe is wearing off a little bit. Having said that, when I am in my bathroom under those lights, it still looks fantastic. I also think it looks really, really wonderful after a few hours of wear. Here's some footage. I just had to shoot a quick video here. I'm on my phone. I am shooting this in 4K, so you are really getting the best definition that I can give you. And I am back to having a day where I am loving this foundation. Like, it just makes my skin look so good. And I had to share that. My bottom line, is it worth $135? Not on my mature, normal to dry skin. Yes, it does look beautiful, but not $135 worth of beautiful. Will I still enjoy it and wear it? Oh yes, I will still enjoy it and wear it. And I think it will be especially what I reach for evening makeup, because it does look so spectacular a few hours in. So that would be really great for an event. Outside of that, I really cannot recommend this foundation, especially at that price point. So thank you so much for joining me. Give this video a like and have a fantastic day.